Another twist in the Jeffrey Epstein saga, and it involves a political U-turn. Let's break that down to what's actually in the new files, why Donny T suddenly wants them released, and who else shows up in the paperwork. Congress is gearing up to vote on whether to force the Department of Justice to release all Epstein-related files under the Epstein Files Transparency Act. For months, Donald Trump opposed the release. Then, almost overnight, he flipped and told Republicans to vote yes, insisting we have nothing to hide. This doesn't come from a sudden burst of transparency. Sources say Trump was told months ago that his name appears in the Epstein records over 1,000 times, across emails, logs and estate documents. That alone doesn't prove wrongdoing, but add to that a growing Republican rebellion pushing for a vote, and party leaders worried the opposition made Trump look like he did have something to hide, so instead of fighting the tide, he jumped in front of it. Here's the important part. The newly released records include emails where Epstein refers to Trump as someone who spent hours at my house, a bizarre line calling Trump the dog that hasn't barked, and mentions across travelogues and contacts dating back to the 90s. None of these entries are charges, they're references, but politically dangerous ones. If you think Donny T is the only person caught up in this web, think again. High-profile names in the material include Bill Clinton, Ehud Barak, whoever he is, former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers, writer Michael Wolff, along with other tech and political figures. Again, being mentioned isn't the same as being guilty, but it paints a picture of how wide Epstein's social net really was. This is why the U-turn matters. Once the documents were already leaking out, blocking the full release became politically impossible. Better to look like a champion of transparency than the guy standing in front of a locked filing cabinet sweating. Whether this release will reveal meaningful new information or just thousands of redacted pages of awkward emails is still unclear, but my money's on the latter. What is clear is that Epstein case isn't done haunting America's political and cultural elites. If Congress forces the full release, we'll finally see what's been buried and who's been shielding it. Until then, expect more U-turns, more statements, and more panic in powerful places. Like, subscribe, comment. Donny T, what have you done?
Dick Scoop for the news.
Ferret.